So, this is a book I started to read. It's really good. Caitlin Motan, How to Be a Woman. It's British English. So let me read. Saffron is our new dog, the stupid new dog. She's also a dodgy dog. My father procured her in one of the deals he periodically conducts at the Hollybush pub, which involves us sitting outside in the van for 2 hours while he occasionally brings us crisps or a bottle of Coke. At some point, he'll suddenly come bowling out at a rapid lick, carrying something incongruous, like a bag of gravel or a statue of a concrete fox with no head. It's gone a bit serious in there, he would say, before gunning off at top speed, pissed. At one occasion, the incongruous thing he came out carrying was Saffron, a 1-year-old German Shepherd. Used to be a police dog, he said proudly, putting her in the back of the van with us, where she promptly shat all over everything. Further investigation revealed that whilst she had been a police dog, it was only a week before the police dog trainers realized she was profoundly psychologically disturbed and scared off. Loud noises, 2, the dark, 3, old people, 4, all other dogs, and suffers stress incontinence. Still, she is my dog and technically the only friend I have who isn't a blood relation. Stay near, old friend, I say to her, blowing my nose on my sleeve, resolving to become cheerful again. Today will be truly notable. And then I was just gonna. So this is a memoir of her from the age of 13, and it's quite amusing. Like, she makes lists. My bad points: 1, I eat too much; 2, I don't take any exercise; 3, quick bursts of rage; 4, losing everything. My bad points were written down on New Year's Eve. A month later, I have rewritten my progress report. 1, I no longer eat ginger nuts. 2, I take dog for a walk every day. 3, trying. 4, trying. Underneath all these, I draw a line and write my new list. By the time I'm 18, 1, lose weight; 2, have good clothes; 3, have friends; 4, train dog properly; 5, ears pierced. Oh God, I just don't have a clue. I don't have a clue how I will ever be a woman. When Simone de Beauvoir said, one is not born a woman, one becomes one, she did know the half of it. In the 22 years that have passed since my 13th birthday, I have become far more positive about being a woman, and to be honest, it all picked up considerably when I got some fake ID, a laptop, and a nice blouse. But in many ways, there is no crueler or more inappropriate present to give a child than oestrogen and a big pair of tits. Had anyone asked me in advance of my birthday, I think I would have requested a book token or maybe a voucher for CNA instead. So becoming a woman felt a bit like becoming famous. From being benevolently, generally ignored, the baseline existence of most children, a teenage girl is suddenly fascinating to others and get bombarded with questions. What size are you? Have you done it yet? Will you have sex with me? Have you got ID? Do you want to try a puff of this? Are you seeing anyone? What's your signature style? Can you walk in heels? Who are your heroes? Are you getting a Brazilian? Do you want to get married? When are you going to have kids? Are you a feminist? Were you just flirting with that man? What do you want to do? Who are you? All ridiculous questions to ask a 13-year-old simply because she now needs a bra. They might as well have been asking my dog. I had absolutely no idea. But like a soldier dropped into a war zone, you have to get some ideas and fast. You need reconnaissance. You have to plan. You have to single out your objectives and then move. Because once those hormones kick in, there's no way to stop them. As I rapidly discovered, you're a monkey strapped inside a rocket, an element in a bomb timer. There isn't an exit plan. You cannot call the whole thing off, however often you may wish you could. This shit is going to happen, whether you like it or not. There are those who try to stop it, of course. Shiva, your diva. למה צאת לך? Oops. Oh, it's still going on? Yeah. Shiva La Diva. So this book is really good. I'll tell you what I like about it. Because now, for some reason, there's this question, what is a woman? So this kind of answers it in a way. I don't want to offend my trans friends, and I do have trans friends on social media. I really admire men who actually want to become women. And contrary to people, conservative talkers, they make a fortune speaking against trans people like Ben Shapiro, etc., who should really address anti-Semitism, which is a bigger problem, I think, than trans. I think anti-Semitism has caused more damage than trans people ever did, will, or ever could. There's like no comparison even. So proportions people. Trans people are people who feel they're women. And I just really don't understand people who like to go on. Sometimes I go on lives of one or two of my friends, and some people can be so nasty. Say, you're the wrong gender, blah, 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 blah. What do you care? If somebody wants to become part of the same thing I have about Jews, by the way, as a Jewish woman. You want to be a woman? Welcome to the club. No, we have T-shirts. No problem. If you want to become part of this club of people that are discriminated against, talked down to, and persecuted, go ahead. Same thing for Jews. You want to be a Jew? I don't think it should be such a difficult procedure. If you want to become, I really have more empathy for people who want to join a group that is less privileged than those who want to become part of a group that's more privileged. Like, I have a little bitsy bit of a problem with women who want to become men more than men who want to become women. I guess it's because when a woman becomes a man, most of the women I've seen on social media, they've got tons of confidence. They're like Shiva a little bit. No, I'm joking. They have tons of confidence. They, of course, have a much better position in society, and they feel empowered. And I think, correct me if I'm wrong, they have less of a chance of getting beaten up or, you know, being a victim of violence, unless they're like really small, petite still. You know, if they worked on their muscles and have a lot of testosterone, they're going to have a better position. And to be honest, if it could be a choice, and I don't really think it is a choice, with all due respect, I would definitely choose to be male. Definitely. But I do prefer having a female dog, because I do think that female dogs have an advantage. They don't fight as much. They're much more social and friendly on the whole. Few exceptions. Shiva is not an exception. She's really nice. She's very playful. She's like a tomboy kind of. And sorry, I didn't mean to sound transphobic when I said I don't think it is a choice. Because I don't think it is a choice. It's like being homosexual. You can't just decide, I want to be a homosexual. You're born with certain tendencies, and I think people are born with certain tendencies to be trans or not. So I really like this quote that you're not born a woman, you become a woman. And I think that is something my trans friends can definitely use. They can borrow this phrase. I like this book, although it's British, and you know, I'm not used to British English, but I kind of like it. I find it charming. It's different than American English. The British are a little bit more, they're a little bit more reserved humor, kind of. But I like this book, and I definitely would give it as a present for a teenage girl somehow, or not a teenage girl, a woman in her 20s. I just started, and I love the puberty part and the fact that nobody tells her anything. I grew up like that too. Even though we had like a class at 5th grade, I just didn't get what the nurse was saying. I was not paying attention, actually. So I don't know. This is a I think we should all read books that are funny. Horror and funny. Horror is good for, what do you call it? Stress. It helps you with stress, because You always have something to compare with. You don't have a murderer following you around, and so your life all of a sudden seems nice. And although we don't really need novels, we have the news, sadly. But I like books that are humorous, and I don't find a lot of things funny easily. But this is a good one. Not everything is funny, but she she describes a life, how difficult it is to be a girl, and maybe I forgot about it. It is difficult to be a girl, and definitely, if I could have, I would have preferred to be a boy. Many, many times I thought about that. Many, many reasons. The only reason I would like to be a woman is the giving birth part, which is really magical, I have to say, despite it being very difficult. And I'm kind of sad my dog won't have this possibility, but it's in a country where 100,000 dogs are being euthanized. Yeah, sorry, she can't have puppies. But yeah, in an ideal world, maybe she could have. But of course, for dogs, it's different than humans. But that's the only thing. That's really the only thing I like about being a woman is the giving birth part. The pregnancy was magical too. Didn't have difficult pregnancies, except the father of the children. He was the difficult part. I would have skipped that part also if I could. But that's another story. But yeah, I definitely think that being male is easier in society, most societies, and I really applaud anyone who wants to be a female or a Jew or any underprivileged. Want to be black, female, Jew. You want to be all three? Be all three. This is Shiva. Shiva is definitely a feisty female. She even has like a woof woof. She has a lot of testosterone, this dog. She's definitely a trans dog.